Hey buddy, it's Crazy Time 4 and welcome back to some more Super Smash Bros. For the 3DS. In the last one, we went through Classic Mode as one of my personal favorites, the main character of the first Xenoblade Chronicles game, Shulk, right? That was pretty fun. I don't know why I selected him, but yeah, it was pretty fun. Another swordsman in the game, but pretty unique one, that's for sure. Not just like what, you know, the Fire Emblem guys, but yeah. So in this episode, we're going to be continuing Classic Mode. We're going to go through as our first third-party character of the game, Pac-Man from Bandai Namco. So yeah, our first third-party venture into in this game. Pac-Man's a classic, you know, we all know and love Pac-Man. And yeah, we're gonna be going through Classic Mode as him today, so that's gonna be pretty fun. Let's first start off with alternate costumes. He's also a starter character, so you'll have him from the very beginning. But yeah, alternate costumes. So we have the default Pac-Man outfit, which I'm pretty sure is based off his appearance in like Pac-Land, maybe some other games, but specifically Pac-Land. We have a blue outfit, which resembles his in-game sprite with the wing shoes power-up from Pac-Land. A yellow outfit, a black outfit, and a purple outfit, which all seem to be Smash originals, though don't seem to have any sort of resemblance whatsoever. We have a white outfit, which resembles promotional artwork of his appearance with the wing shoes power-up from Pac-Land. A red outfit, and where the armbands are noticeably thinner, which makes them resemble compression sleeves, and he wears red leggings instead of wing shoes. And finally, plaid, and where his gloves and boots are reminiscent of oven mitts. So there we have it, that's Pac-Man. So yeah, and most of his, as you could probably tell, most of his alternate costumes change his model to give him colored armbands and or the wing shoes power up from Pac-Land. So, but going in as regular standard Pac-Man, let's get it going, and let's see how things go. I'm curious to see how it's gonna go with Pac-Man, just because I never really played this character, if I'm being honest. I really don't. But you know, I can definitely see the enjoyment of this character if someone wanted to play Pac-Man. Yeah, Pac-Man's very unique, very unique of a character. I know I say that a lot about many characters, but he truly is, you know, he truly is. He uses a lot of different, tools and stuff in his arsenal from his, you know, from his games, but also from like other just like general Bandai Namco stuff. I think most of his stuff is Bandai Namco, if I'm not mistaken. So that's pretty cool. Did I kill him? Oh, I was about to say, why did he go that way? Give me that pitfall. Oh, the freaking timing of that was beautiful. Freaking, I'm not gonna lie, like, spiking someone in general is amazing, but spiking someone with a pitfall is just another, how do I say, it's just better. I don't know why, but just spiking someone with a pitfall, it just feels so much more satisfying. It really does. Man, it's great. I love the pitfall item so much. It's such a great item. But yeah, we're here. Let's go ahead and start getting through Pac-Man's special moves. So we have the neutral special, which is called the bonus fruit, where he shuffles through a bunch of different bonus fruits, landing on the key being the last one that he goes to, and that's like being the end of his charge. The key, of course, being the best one to go for, not only doing the most damage, but also the most knockback. Now, obviously, the varying different fruits that he can choose from will obviously like change like the damage and knockback that he you know, what the heck happened there? I knew he was gonna get me there. Yeah, the different varying fruits that he can choose from, or items that he can choose from the bonus fruit item, will of course change, you know, what outcome. With the Galaga one being very interesting, how this one actually like goes in like this little loop-de-loop before, you know, it can actually hit the opponent twice. The key goes in like a very straight, you know, fast form forward. There's the melon, which surprisingly enough actually does like the second most amount of damage, but is like I think that's the slowest one. In terms of like just speed, general speed. There's also the one right before the key, which is called the bell, and that was pretty interesting, where it goes on like it's a very short distance kind of throw. It goes like diagonally upwards and then straight down, but if it were to hit an opponent, then it would actually paralyze them for a little bit, for like a sec, which is very useful. A lot of his the bonus fruit item actually is primarily a really good move that that Pac-Man can just use for combos and just like general like gimping and like just like general stuff, edge guarding, stuff like that, that really like makes him, it really gives him a good projectile to use for just like, you know, for mind games and all, and the liking, that just really helps, you know, make him a little better, and it makes him, a little bit, what am I trying to say? It makes things a little better for him when trying to, like, you know, do things against enemies. Yeah, it's a very good item. Very good item. And yeah, so, and I guess one thing I could mention about the charge of it is that the charge works like other charge attacks, charge special moves, where it's like if you can charge the move, then like shield it, like, and then like just stop the charge temporarily, then you will stop the charge temporarily. However, with this one, I'm pretty sure once you stop the charge and then resume it, you will immediately go and use the projectile that you stopped on, the fruit that you stopped on. So yeah, but you can stop the charge and then basically at any point and resume it and then just kind of like throw out whatever you have on. So yeah, that's basically about it. There's a lot to it, but that's essentially primarily it for the bonus fruits. Can actually aid Pac-Man's already impressive recovery if immediately thrown, so that's pretty interesting. But yeah, so there's that. Now we go over his side special real quick, which we showed off very briefly in the Falcon fight. This is the Power Pellet, where Pac-Man extends a trail of Pac Dots that ends with a Power Pellet, and then that transforms into his wedge form before propelling himself to eat them. The trail can be extended to a maximum of 6 dots, while... That was pretty cool, I just grabbed that. Yeah, the trail can be extended to a max of 6 dots, while the dash has a controllable trajectory that can allow for mind games and even recovery. It also grants super armor after Pac-Man eats the Power Pellets, and upon extending a full trail, its last hit will be strong enough to, for KO potential. So yeah, the Power Pellet move's really good. Primarily, I like to use it as a very good horizontal recovery for Pac-Man. I really like to use it as a horizontal recovery. It's so freaking useful. So useful. It's great as like a move to just like hit enemies with and potentially even kill them if they're like at high enough percentages. And it's a really good one to just like kind of just go after them. You can kind of see the different mobility that it has. You can like really angle it a lot. You can do it like more downwards too. It's pretty cool. It has a lot of versatility. So I like it a lot. I think it's a very solid move in his arsenal. You know, yeah, definitely use it. It's very good. One thing I should probably mention about the Power Pellets is that if you were to get hit out of the Power Pellet, right, if someone were to, like, for example, hit the pellet itself, then the Power Pellet would end up actually falling onto the ground, and then either you or your opponent can actually end up eating the Power Pellet, which would end up healing, I believe, like about 2% damage, 2% health. So it's pretty nice, you know, at least like if you were to get, you know, hit out of it, you can still like technically use it to an extent, which I find very useful. Can you die? Finally! Oh my gosh, that battle went on for so long. And I mean, yeah, that's about it. It will not go off ledges during a grounded chomp if the trail does not go past the ledge. Interrupting it during the startup during the Power Pellet drops the Power Pellet, like I mentioned, and then heals a little bit of damage eaten by any character. Pac-Man can act out after the move and is able to automatically ledge snap throughout its duration, but if he directly bumps into a surface during the chomps, it stops and he suffers from a lengthy tumbling animation that can cause him to self-destruct or be punished. So just some things to kind of worry about, to watch out for with Power Pellets. But yeah, that's the move. That's pretty cool. It's pretty unique move in his arsenal. I'm saying arsenal a lot. I'm sorry, but yeah. And it's a good move. It's a good move, and it's a good word to use. Now we'll go over his up special real quick, which this one is called a Pac Jump, where he launches himself upwards with trampolines. They can go from blue to yellow to red, each giving him different heights. For his recovery, with each subsequent color just being better for general recovery. The blue one obviously being the least one, the least recovery, and then the yellow being the most. The only problem is that with the red one, it doesn't really give you much of a recovery. if you are to go onto the red one, it puts you into a free fall animation, which can be used either against you or for you, depending on the way you are smart with it. Yeah, it's hard to really say, but with Pac-Man's trampoline, with his Pac jump, he's actually able not only to have a pretty good amount of recovery with it. He can obviously go upwards, but also kind of have a little bit of horizontal movement with the recovery as well, which is really good. But on top of that, opponents and teammates of Pac-Man can actually use the recovery as well, which is pretty interesting. So it kind of causes Pac-Man to have a recovery that can be easily kind of played against, if that makes any sense, and can be used against him if possible, you know, if things just do not go well in his favor, I will say. I'm pretty sure opponents can also just not only use the trampolines themselves, but also hit the trampolines, which also go to the next form, go to the next color. But yeah, so I mean that's about it. While Pac-Man is also bouncy, he can hit opponents while ascending. And yeah, so it's an effective grounded combo breaker. When on stage, trampoline can be used for mind games and setups. In team battles, it is notable for being potentially game breaking, as two Pac-Men can infinitely bounce off each other's trampolines past the upper blast line, similar to the Luigi ladder. And the trampoline itself originates from a game called Mappy, which I'm not sure what that is, but it's something. So yeah, nice little origin there. But that's basically it for the trampoline. It has nothing really else to mention. That's basically about it. That's the trampoline. Pretty interesting move. Good mind game potential move, but again, can definitely be one that's used against Pac-Man if you're not careful, or if your opponent is just a lot smarter and using it against you. So be careful. Definitely be careful when using the Pac jump. But that's about it for that. And now finally we have one more special move to go over, this being the down special, which is the fire hydrant. We've shown this off a good few times already in this classic mode run through, where it's pretty simple. Pac-Man drops a fire hydrant below him, and the fire hydrant has some properties to it. Now, I've been showing off the version where you have it on the ground, and if you hit it enough times, then it will actually start moving, and that fire hydrant can be actually then used as a very, very strong projectile against opponents. I'm pretty sure the projectile can in fact be reflected by opponents, with anyone with a reflector, with a reflecting move, but I'm pretty sure it could also be pocketed by villager. I could be very mistaken about that, but it might be able to be pocketed by villager. So yeah, something that's interesting to kind of keep in mind. And yeah, so apparently it's a specific amount of damage that the fire hydrant can receive, which is about 13%. That's when it can then be used and launched as a projectile, as a powerful projectile. Has a lot of good damage to it, but also very, very strong in its knockback. So can be definitely used a lot in killing opponents, that's for sure. So definitely recommend using the fire hydrant a lot, because it's just such a freaking useful move. And yeah, if it is placed on a steep enough slope, it will then tumble down the slope until it disappears. It actually will not do anything. It will not stay in place if it is on a steep enough slope. And then one final thing I should probably mention about the fire hydrant is that if you were to just let it go, and then just let it happen, it will actually send out water streams. On the sides, it actually sends out 2 streams, one in each direction, but if Pac-Man, or I'm pretty sure if an opponent were to be on top of the fire hydrant, it will actually send 1 stream of water above. So that's pretty cool. The water itself doesn't really do any damage, it's just primarily used as just like a pushing away kind of thing that you can use. And yeah, so as a push effect that can allow for mind games, mix-ups, and even gimps. Due to it functioning as a constantly active hitbox, the hydrant can actually be counterattacked and pocketed while it is stationary. So even while it's stationary, he can actually be used against your favor. But yeah, so that's about it. That's fire hydrant. That's Pac-Man. So pretty cool character. I like the character a lot. Definitely not one of my personal preferred characters to play as, but still a really, really good one nonetheless. Definitely a really fun one to use, I will say. Can I just show it off kind of how it works there. Hold on, let me just finish it off. Damn, how bad are your freaking forward smashes? Or your smash attacks? I was just like killing him. Such a high percentage, it just wasn't killing for some reason. I don't know what that was all about, but yeah. So, kind of a complicated character, I will say, but still definitely one that, like, if you know how to use him, he can be insane in actual, like, play against, like, opponents and whatnot. So, definitely, I mean, if it's up your alley, if you're willing to put in the time to learn the character, then I suggest going for it. I definitely do suggest it. Okay, let's get the Pac-Man credits going. I actually do wonder how the fire hydrant's gonna be. Oh, that's crazy! Okay, fire hydrant's gonna be a little nuts. I don't know if it's gonna be all that useful, just kind of like a fun thing to like let out. Like have it hit like multiple credits just over and over and over again. But it's still pretty cool to like see it, kind of similar to Olimar and the Pikmin mechanic where he can just like have one Pikmin and just like forward air and then just like it just does a multi-hit kind of function on the credits. Really fun. But yeah, that's Pac-Man. I mean, I don't know what else there is to say about him. I mean, he's like a classic character from, you know, the 80s. If you guys, you probably already know how Pac-Man is and like how his original game is. Where you just like the Pac-Man himself, you're the wedge version of Pac-Man, the very simple one, and you can just eat power pellets and have to watch out for ghosts, and you can sometimes eat the ghost if you eat the big boy power pellets. So, you know, obviously we're not playing as that Pac-Man, you know, that's very simple Pac-Man in this game. But, you know, he still has that kind of function to him, especially like with his side special, and I'm pretty sure one of his taunts even turns him into that Pac-Man, maybe? Well, we'll obviously go into it in training, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it does. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Can I not hit that? I'm on 99.99. Thank you. Okay, I was about to say, let's actually do this again. This is really fun. That's so enjoyable. I love doing that so much. But actually, fun fact, Pac-Man actually has instances where he has been able to talk before, whether it be in games themselves or even like the Pac-Man cartoon. Yes, there is a Pac-Man cartoon if you are curious. It's actually not that bad. It's not that bad. But yeah, so this Pac-Man cartoon, he's actually able to talk in that cartoon too. Obviously the Smash version is the one where he just does not talk. I'm pretty sure in Pac-Land itself he is not able to talk, as well as of course the original Pac-Man game. So yeah, that's that. So also this is a pretty adorable picture, him and Kirby just kind of vibing in the sunset. Nice, with the ghost kind of being daydreamed around Pac-Man. AB4 summon, not bad. Alright, Pac-Man, let's go ahead and get into training mode real quick. Check out your taunts and, of course, your final smash. This final smash is pretty cool. I definitely like it a lot. It's very reminiscent of his original form, and you'll see what I mean by that. So, first off, let's go over his taunts. So, his up taunts. This is a pretty interesting one where he actually, like, does his little handout animation, and he sends out a bunch of different I guess, how do I say it? It's called a Namco roulette, and he produces sprites of classic Namco items or characters and enemies, which I feel like is pretty freaking cool. Kind of similar to the bonus food, where you can have like a bunch of different stuff, and it's very random for it. So that's pretty nice. Then we have the side taunt, where he transforms actually into his wedge form and chomps to the left and right. So yeah, with, you know, his iconic chomping sounds are pretty cool. And finally, the down taunt, where he actually lays down and kind of daydreams a little bit about, what is it, Blinky and Pinky from the original Pac-Man games, and then having an arrangement of the first 5 notes of the intermission theme from Pac-Man playing. So it's pretty cool. I'm pretty sure this one does not do damage. Okay, yeah, I was about to say, there are some taunts that do damage. I thought for a second Pac-Man might be one, but it wasn't. So yeah, this is taunts, pretty cool, very unique, very, pretty cool, just like kind of showing off different like Namco iconic characters and stuff. So let's get into his final smash. This is called Super Pac-Man, where Pac-Man eats a power pellet, actually a few power pellets, or a power pellet and a super pellet, and then he transforms into a very big version of his 2D form, and then starts being able to eat enemies. Yeah, so he then can move in 4 directions and attempt to chomp his opponents, which deals damage and moderate knockback. Victims aesthetically turn into ghost eyes until hit stun ends. It is also unique in that, unlike other mobile Final Smashes, it allows Pac-Man to warp around the screen if he moves off screen, making it very effective at edge guarding. So let's actually kind of show off how that works. He can actually go from one side to the other, which is freaking cool as heck. And then, yeah, you can chomp at the same opponent multiple times once they actually get out of hit stun. And you can also do multiple opponents as well. The score itself is just an aesthetic thing. It doesn't really provide anything for the Final Smash. It's just kind of like there, pretty cool. Oh, and we also have this. So, yeah, the score itself that comes up from the Final Smash is just aesthetic. You know, it doesn't really do anything. It just kind of keeps going up until you end the Final Smash. But once you do use the Final Smash, you actually get an achievement, a challenge complete. You actually get the Pac-Maze stage, which is pretty freaking cool. I was wondering about this one. I kind of forgot that where we're gonna get that, but hey, we got it, so that's pretty cool. And there you have it, that's Pac-Man. Nothing really else to say. So, let's end things off by, of course, checking out his trophy real quick and seeing what kind of background he has for him. So Pac-Man, the yellow circular hero of the game Pac-Man, which is recognized as the most successful coin-operated arcade game by Guinness World Records. In Smash Bros, he uses several moves inspired by the original Pac-Man. Waka Waka your foes by charging up the power pellet move and aiming at them. So yeah, that's pretty cool actually. How freaking how popular the Pac-Man game, the original Pac-Man game is. It's a very, very popular game. I remember playing it quite a lot growing up in like arcade machines, and I probably you guys have as well. Especially if you are big in that scene. But even like then, it's like I'm pretty sure the original Pac-Man is available in like other forms, like digitally or whatever that you could probably play. It's probably very cheap on like other consoles or whatever, I don't know. But yeah, so Pac-Man, everyone's probably played it at this point. It's a classic. But yeah, that's it for today's episode of Super Smash Bros. For the 3DS. In the next one, we're gonna be heading through as another third-party character and as another newcomer to the game, Mega Man. Yes, the robot kid himself. So this will be pretty interesting as well. I do like me some Mega Man. So subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Social media, including the Twitch, the second channel, the music channel, and the VOD channel. They're all down below. Go check them out. And I'll see everyone in the next one. Pop-Tart out.